Hey, welcome to this edition.
Go.
Hey, thanks. Hey, welcome to this edition of the Akashic Show. If you are looking to spread your spiritual message, spiritual consciousness to more of the world, if you're looking to get out to more people and really transform this planet, really raise consciousness on this planet, then absolutely, you definitely want to tune into this show, even though there's echoes and all kinds of weird stuff going on. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for pressing play. We so appreciate it. If this is the first time that you're ever pressing play here on the Akashic Show, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the Akashic family. You can see we have a wonderful page here. It's an exciting page. We've got daily shows coming to you every single day, and we're bringing new shows to you constantly to bring you spiritually uplifting noises and to bring you conscious upliftment in your and Emily's totally distracting me today, so we're gonna just roll with it anyways. All right, fantastic, guys. Look, if you guys don't know me, my name is Coach Nick, and if you don't know the gal sitting next to me here, her name is Emily Harrison. She is the founder and director here at the Akashic Academy. She is certifying light workers all around the world to read the Akashic Records. And not only is she certifying light workers all around to tap into the space of the Akashic Records, she's also helping you translate that into programs, into services that you can actually bring out to the world, which is perfect for today's topic, which is how do you spread your spiritual message around the world? Emily, it's Friday.
It's Friday. We got a little goof going up here in the house today. I was just sharing out. I was just trying to share out, and then my phone was on loud, so you guys heard it. Let me go ahead and invite you guys to share out this message too, because as you can see, Coach Nick and I have a lot of fun together. Even though we're bringing you really, really grounded and powerful information, it's more fun when you do it with your friends, when you do it hanging out with each other in this kind of a way. And one thing that I really appreciate about our partnership is the friendship that's underneath it. And I think that creates just a really strong foundation for us to hold space for each other's growth, to support each other, to accept each other. And that translates to our community. And our community, like you said, it's global. And we're bringing a lot of different ideas, a lot of different perspective and aspects to how we're showing up together. And we're finding that space where they merge, and we're expanding that. The nature of consciousness is to expand, and it is to honor that state of oneness. So I just feel really privileged to be sitting here with you, my friend, like I say every single week, because I am just so impressed with what you've been able to do in terms of helping me grow and grow this space as a movement and as a business. Your genius mind, and Amanda Marie and I were talking about you. She's got a show coming out and she's been working with you, and she was like, I'm just so impressed with Nick. It's true. The space that you're holding here for expansion, paired with the expansion of our spirituality, it's just phenomenal, and it's exciting and fun. I love hanging out with you. You're a busy dude, so I don't get to hang out with you as much during the week as I want to. Sometimes we get to hang out extra if we're working on a project, but I have missed you this week. We have a big event coming tonight, so I'm excited for our little pre-show now here together.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And thank you as well. You know, you're absolutely right. You know, there's a famous yogi Sadhguru, which I know you're familiar with, Emily, as well. And he said, just because you're spreading a movement, or just because you're talking about a serious subject, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it joyfully. He says, in fact, we should learn how to change the world in a joyful way. Sometimes when we think about like, oh, we have to go, well, then we have so many challenges that we got to get to. We get all serious about it. What we don't realize is now we're not bringing a light consciousness to it, a lightness to it. So even our very serious challenges, if we could do it with a smile, and we can transform this world with a smile, that's the way to do it, because that will be infused in everything we do. So I really appreciate that. All right, guys, those of you who are watching us live or watching the recording, hit that like and love button. Send some of those bubbles across the screen. We appreciate those. Definitely share this out with your friends and family, because one of the ways that you could help spread a spiritual message is by filling up your social media with spiritual messages. You know, the world is on social media. The world is connecting on social media. Social media is a place where we can really influence the collective consciousness. So one thing that you could do here and now to really take part in this mission, don't just witness it happening, but we need you to take part in it. And one of the best things you can do is share these videos out. Help us spread this message out to as many people as we can. And by doing that, you are actively participating in the spiritual upliftment of the world. So definitely do that and leave us comments and questions. We want to hear from you. Emily, we got some puppets. We got some puppets.
We got some
Let's do
puppets.
some puppets.
This is a puppet show. All right. So if you guys are joining for the first time, you don't know this part of our show, but if you hang out with us, you're probably super excited for this because this is one of the funnest things that we do around here. We take our audience, and Coach Nick and I go back, we find comments that strike us from the week before, and we turn the sayers of those comments into puppets. We actually have a really huge collection right now. We got to do something fun with our collection.
We do.
All right, Coach Nick,
It's almost weird. I'm afraid that if somebody came in and came into my office, they would see all these faces of people lined up. They'd be like, what's going on in here?
I have a drawer where I put all of them, and I open up the drawer, and it's like they pop out because they're paper, and I mush them down in there, and then it's like they come plastic. All right, so I'm going to give you a drum roll, my friend, for your puppet, all right?
Oh, no, I got yours lined up. Sorry, I'm going to give you a drum roll first. So, bam!
Oh, I have Jasmine Perez, who says fear around growing spiritually, almost like fear of the unknown. And this is so synchronous. I was listening last night to a channel and a galactic guide talking about the fear of the unknown. And what that really means is we're moving into that. We are truthfully in a stage of human consciousness that is groundbreaking in terms of how we're learning to understand spiritual technology and use it and implement it in our life. We are in an experiential age. We are on the cutting edge of figuring out how to take all this ancient wisdom that's awakening this wisdom inside of us and figuring out what to do with it. And it is triggering a bit of fear of the unknown, because this level of transformation we've never experienced before. Oh, she had cat ears on. That's what
I was just going to say. I'm like, does she have cat ears on, or did you really mess up her ears?
Oh. Well, Coach Nick, you probably don't do a lot of Snapchatting, but there's some really cool filters on Snapchat. My daughter just showed them to me, and I was like, oh, this is nice. Like, I really want to do a whole photo shoot for my business with the Snapchat filters, because it's just like an instant makeup artist. But they've got a cute little cat ear one, and so that's the one I found at Jasmine. Okay, cool. Ready for drum roll?
I'm ready for the drum roll.
Okay.
Bam. Awesome. Thank you so much. And this one comes from Angelique Keeler. I hope I'm saying that right. Angelique Keeler. And Angelique had a really interesting comment, because last week we were talking about spiritual risk, coming out of the spiritual closet, right? In that way. And so Angelique says, I'm scared to tell my religious father. And, I can totally relate to that. I can totally relate to, scaring to tell people about your own awakening. One thing that I did is when I had a massive awakening experience, I went to see a contemporary shaman, so like a Native American or Canadian shaman, and I had a massive spiritual awakening after that, and it really dove deep into my spirituality. One thing that I did, I remember I was driving to an appointment, and I was so inspired, I pulled over and I ran into this coffee shop, pulled out my laptop, and I wrote down what was coming through for me, which was my own experience of spiritual awakening and how I realized myself as soul, as everlasting life. And I actually have it still saved. It's written that where I wrote this maybe one-page article. And what I did is I actually sent it in an email to some of my friends and family, and I started sharing it. And I sent it to an email, said, please take a look at this, and I don't even know why. And later on, I could see that what I was really doing was owning what had happened to me and owning that realization that I had. And so one thing that you could do is, if you're fearful around telling other people about your own spiritual experiences, or really stepping in and owning your own realizations about who you are, write it down in a little article and share it. And I know a really safe place to share it. It's called the Akashic Academy. And especially if you're a member of the Academy, you'll know that it's a really safe place to explore and share. And we are so supportive as a community. We've got about 130 community members now, and each and every single one of them, there's such a space of support and upliftment. So I recommend that you could do that.
How many did you say?
I think we're around 130. Is that right? We're more? I don't know what the exact number is. How many members do we have?
172, baby. 172.
172. We have 172 members?
Yeah, we do.
I'm like, what? We have that many members? That's amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So you got 172 people to support you. And it really is a supportive community. It's wonderful. So it's a great place. So if you're not part of the Academy, go to our website, check it out, join us. $44.44 a month for you to get over 10 workshops, new moon and full moon ceremonies, access to prayers every week, and access to mindful living challenges. I mean, there's so much value happening inside there. And one of the biggest value is the supportive community, which sometimes you cannot find in the physical space. But that's why the online platform is beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right, Emily, let's move on to Akashic News. I know you got some great news for us happening this week. What's going down?
Well, I have some welcomes to give this week, some special shout outs. We have a brand new member of our awesome Akashic Academy. Christy Warfield is joining us. And Coach Nick, you were given just a really good breakdown of what goes on inside of the Academy. I just wanted to share quickly, inside intuitive development, the focus of this particular training that I bring is to expand our intuition. But the way we do it shifts from time to time. I'm really guided by the space of the Akashic Records. And so the content and the way that we go about doing the content changes. And we're moving into a new series called Akashic Downloads, where we're actually just bringing in energy from the Akash that has its own ability to shift and expand us in ways that we can't even understand and explain until we experience them and go back and reflect and write some things down, like Coach Nick said. So this week, we brought in a download for a life of ease and flow. So if you're interested in being able to energetically access some of these ideas and ways of being and thought that have previously eluded you, I want to let you know that's what's going on inside of the Academy. And Christy Warfield's going to be getting some of that action because she's joining us. Kendall Mitchell is the newest student in learning to read the Akashic Records. I'm so excited to be working with this woman. She's been inside of the Academy for quite some time. She's been prepping herself for this amazing journey of transformation and expansion. She and I have developed a strong relationship and friendship, and I know what's already coming out of her. And I'm so excited to work with her through this process with the other students. And then finally, tonight, we have another Lightworker training event for you guys. This is a free training, but you have to sign up for it. This is 5 steps to create and launch your first course by the new year. If you are a Lightworker and if you are beginning or you have made this transition into doing this as your career, you're likely getting to the point where you need to scale things, where your time needs to be used in a more effective manner. This is, as we continue to grow and expand spiritually, that's going to overflow into our business. And we need to learn how to manage our time, how to leverage our knowledge, and how to step forward in a bigger way that allows us to share experience. And I love, Coach Nick, that you were talking about writing down your own personal experience. If you guys do this and you share that inside of the Akashic, inside of the page here, you're already done a lot of pre-work to figuring out what a course that you would create would look like. So even if you haven't ever thought of yourself as a teacher, I want to invite you to take part in this process. At least let it plant seeds in you for new opportunity, new ideas, new ways that you can step into sharing your mission in a bigger way. So you guys get signed up for that. Bring a friend. We're super excited about that. All right, let's dive into our topic today. Coach Nick, what do you have to say?
I got to, one of my favorite people in world history, I have to quote Mahatma Gandhi, be the change, right? Be the change, meaning you got to become a powerhouse yourself. meaning you got to become a spiritual powerhouse yourself to influence change. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and lead a movement like Mahatma Gandhi did, right? But you do have to actually embody what it is that you want to see in the world. The world, we are a collective consciousness, but we are also individual souls. So we are both. Like in the Vedics, we talk about the dual philosophy of like, we are one and we are separate at the same time. That's why we are one, but yet we are separate right here and now, right? We are looking and talking to each other and communicating. So you as an individual soul, Atma, means that you have a responsibility or you contribute to the collective. Like I contribute to the collective and Emily contributes to the collective. We all do. Now, how is this done? It is done through your own consciousness. So you yourself have to do the work. You have to be the change. If you want to see a more prosperous world, you have to bring prosperity into your own experience. If you want to see a more loving world, you have to bring more love into your own experience. Mm-hmm. If you want to see a healthier world, you have to bring more health into your own experience. Now, how do you bring it into your experience? Realize that you are it. So I'm a Hare Krishna. So I'm just going to explain this from the Krishna devotee's perspective. Okay. Krishna is another word for God, for source, for Christ. In fact, the word Christ and Krishna mean the same thing, but we won't get into that in this show. But so I just have to just put that out there. So here's what it is. Krishna is described as having many different qualities, but I'm going to give you some main qualities. Krishna is all powerful, all wealthy, all beautiful, all knowledgeable, all intelligent. No, I already said knowledgeable. All renounced, and all renounced. So these are qualities of the source. This is why and all famous. That's the sixth one. All famous. This is why we are attracted to these things. We are attracted to things that are famous, people that are famous, celebrities. The word celebrity literally means to celebrate. We are celebrating this. What we are actually celebrating is fame as a whole. It doesn't mean you strive for fame. You realize that you are part and parcel of the whole, which is already all famous, already powerful, already beautiful. You are part and parcel of Krishna or part and parcel of the universe or of God or of Christ, however you want to see that. You are part and parcel of it, meaning you embody the qualities of it. So I have this little affirmation that I wrote that I'll share with you guys that helps me to remind me that when I'm feeling powerless in the world, disconnected, when I don't feel like I can be the change in the world, I always remind myself of this. I am part and parcel of Krishna, so therefore I serve Krishna. Because Krishna is all powerful, all famous, all wealthy, all beautiful, all learned, and all renounced, I too embody these qualities. So the first thing that you got to do is you have to embody what it is that you want to see in the world. And if you want to see this world be a more spiritual place, then you have to embody spiritual consciousness and know what that really means. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing in my mind. Emily, what are your thoughts on this subject?
I really like the idea of how we embody that. It's coming forward in all aspects of how I'm showing up in my life, and a lot of other speakers and healers and teachers that I tune in and listen to are really calling us to that state of realization and embodiment of who we are in a different way. I really feel like when we get to that state, your spiritual message, which is really hard to say live on the air, just comes naturally flowing out of you. Oh. When you're connected in the ways, and for me, the visualization that was given to me by my master's teachers, loves the one who guides in the records, I'm beginning to understand it more dynamically every single day. And this was given to me many years ago. Just this week, I had some dynamic realizations of what's happening when we're moving that column of light like that, when we are preparing our energy body to actually be able to ground in this energy and receive it in a different way, to realize it in a different way. When you do that, like I said, it just naturally comes flowing out of you. I find that was the biggest adjustment for me. And yes, sometimes I do have to reposition myself, tune myself back into source. I still get knocked off of my path, either with like an emotional trigger or a thought that might not be supporting my highest good. But I tell you what, I'm getting damn good at recognizing it. And I value my own presence of energy within my body, my own frequency enough to not ride that dense bus of energy that comes into your frequency all over town. That's a great analogy that my mother-in-law actually came up with. She's like, thoughts are like buses, and you sit there, and if a negative thought comes by and you get on that bus and you ride it all over town, look where you end up. But if you just sit there and let that bus go by, 10 minutes later, another bus is going to come along. So allow yourself to experience thoughts as the public transportation system. Okay. It'll shift a lot for you. But really beginning to realize this more deeply, that is the biggest thing. Oh, and I love that Jasmine, that's my girl too. Where is she, Jasmine? We're sharing a brain right now.
She's the puppet.
Yeah, I know. She's my puppet.
And she came here late, so she might have not seen her puppet.
Well, girl.
Because she said, made it, better late than never.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here today. Because you've been puppetized. And obviously we're sharing a brain. So there's telepathy in action for you guys. Coach Nick, do you remember the story that I was telling you when we were chatting? It might have been last week, and we were just checking in, and I was talking to you about how I had experienced a different dynamic of how I was showing up here at the Academy. And it had shifted. She said, wait, what? Yeah, true. It's true. True story. I noticed that I had shifted from being in that state of like a visionary creation state with you and like kind of seeing this from an observational perspective. And I had more fallen into it, and I was experiencing it. You know, we've laid really incredible groundwork for expansion for people, and for increased abundance, and for increased prosperity, and for bigger platforms for the light workers who are coming with messages. We're spiritual messengers that they want to share. And it's happening. And I'm having the experience of witnessing it and supporting these people through it, and having the relationship where they're sharing their experience with me. People write me letters of their transformation and experience. And it's put me into a deeper state of realization about the embodiment of this. So I just really want to hold space as I'm experiencing that in these real moments, these real now moments of my life. I know it's so important. I want to hold space for all of you guys to experience that in whatever way that it's meaningful for you. But that's how I'm observing it and experiencing it in my life right now.
Well, that's what, we talked about. I remember when we were having that discussion, we talked about the levels of like, there's concentration, there's meditation, and then there's absorption. And the goal is always to be fully absorbed. My spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, would always say that, like, we have to be fully absorbed in Krishna conscious, because when you're absorbed in it, you literally become one with it. Now, when I say one with it, meaning you embody it, it doesn't mean that you merge and lose your own personal identity. It means that you embody and you become a servant of that ideal, if you will, right? And so our practice in your own life, you have to take up such a practice where spiritual life isn't something you do on Sunday mornings, and it's not something you do once a week, or it's not something you do when you come on Fridays and join us and go, oh, I'm doing my spiritual life. Yeah, this is about actually getting spiritually charged up so that you can live it 24/7, 365 days. You are fully absorbed in universal consciousness. You are fully absorbed in the spiritual consciousness, which means you have to leave the world of what we'll call the material world, the world of separated. Like somehow I am victim, somehow I am separated, somehow I am not part and parcel of the whole picture. And once you embody that and you're absorbed in that, then you truly will start to see how you can begin to show up in the world in all kinds of different ways. And this doesn't mean you have to, shave your head. And it doesn't mean that you have to, put on orange robes And it doesn't mean that you have to not be a mother or a father or a bus driver or whatever it is that you do in the world. It actually means that you do all those activities in a very spiritual consciousness, and you will notice that you will be able to influence. And let's say you're a taxi driver, and all of a sudden you're going to use driving taxi as a way to strike up conversations with people and give them some spiritual nuggets. So you get to, a real master knows how to engage everything that they're doing in the service of the collective. So no matter what you're doing, you are simply pulling more and more and more people into a spiritual concentration or spiritual absorption in their true nature as spirit soul. This is how we create the change in the world. But you cannot do that unless you yourself have done it for yourself already. And that's, then once you've done it and you have a story, then you can take that and share that in a powerful way. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight, is we're going to be showing people tonight how to take your own spiritual experiences, create a course. Emily's going to be showing you a 5-step process to creating a course so that you can actually take your own knowledge and experience, share it out in a bigger way, and also be able to set yourself up to live it more and more, because you'll have an income to be able to do it. And that's an important piece of this puzzle in this practical, material way.
It so is. I'm getting really fired up about holding people accountable, especially you light workers, because that's who my tribe is. Your jumping off point needs to be that you have plenty of free time and plenty of abundance to pursue your passions and curiosities, because that's how you grow. And if you don't have that time and space available because you're chained to whatever you're chained to, then dudes, you're dragging the old paradigm up into this 5D. You're dragging the old 3D system of being imprisoned to whatever you do to the new paradigm. So we're going to break that for you tonight. And it's easier than you think. I'm super excited. There's an activation coming in, Coach Nick, that's so strong. It's about to knock me off my chair.
Cool. Let's dive into that activation. I just want to address, we'll do the activation, and then we're going to share with you guys tonight how you could plug into the training, because I know somebody had asked a little earlier. I saw the question come up, how do I sign up for tonight? We're going to share with you how to sign up for tonight right after the activation. So Emily, let's do it.
All right, everybody, sit up nice and straight. We're going to focus on that crystalline tube of light. Go ahead and close your eyes and let's synchronize breath, just observing that state in union of oneness. Deep breath in, filling up your lungs to capacity, pausing at the top, and a slow exhale. And just allow your breath to take you to that very quantum centered point. Nice deep breath in. Pausing at the top, honoring your ability as an alchemist to shift energy easily and effortlessly on this quantum level. Exhaling. Good. One more nice deep breath in, creating space. Drawing in light from 360 degrees, pausing at the top, creating that space to get big, and exhaling, releasing anything standing in your way. And then focusing on that crystalline tube of light, send it down into Mother Earth. All the way down, anchoring into this crystalline core center of Mother Earth. And I want you to pull that energy up. Bringing it into every cell inside of your body. This Mother Earth energy is unconditional love, support, and wisdom. It's encoded with all of that energy. And when you bring it into the cellular structure of your being, it will wake up your dormant DNA. Coach Nick was talking about Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness. That is fully activated DNA, all 12 strands of DNA. Good job. And then focusing again on that crystalline tube of light, and this time sending it out the top of your head, all the way through all layers of time, space, and consciousness. And anchoring that crystalline tube into source energy, the Akash, the great central sun, God, whatever makes you feel expansive and comfortable. And then I want you to draw that wisdom down with intent, with purpose, pulling that wisdom, that energy down moving down through the layers of space and time, entering in through your upper chakras, integrating at the soul star. It's going to spiral down through the crown. As it's moving through these chakras, just hold space for the clearing and harmonizing, balancing of all of these chakras. Spiraling down through the third eye, fourth eye, the throat, ascended heart, solar plexus. Take a deep breath here, everybody, because we're going to be working in the solar plexus, creating space here. Good. Sending that down through the sacral chakra, root chakra. The Akashic energy continues to spiral down out your feet as it moves down through the earth, activating your earth star chakra below your feet, and continuing to spiral down, anchoring into the crystalline core center. And then just a few nice deep breaths, moving all of this energy through your being, adjusting to this higher frequency of energy, and just moving back into a very gentle state, a very relaxed state, very calm state within your body, within your breath, within your mind and your emotions. And we're going to call our higher self, the energy of our higher self. So move all the way up past the crown chakra, go up into what's known as your soul star chakra. It's where the Akashic Records integrate. That's their access point. And I want you to pull that energy, higher self energy down. Your higher wisdom, your higher knowing, the fearless part of you. And I want you to feel that moving down. And we're going to move that higher self all the way into the solar plexus. I want you to imagine the solar plexus. Okay, so your solar plexus is about 2 inches above your belly button. It is a chakra, an spinning energy wheel. It is part of your energy body. It's where we house our personal power, our courage, our self-esteem. And we want to fully allow our higher self to integrate, to realize. We want to realize the higher self within the solar plexus chakra. I want you to imagine a pyramid over the solar plexus there. Actually, take that pyramid. The top of the pyramid is right there at the solar plexus. And then the rest of the pyramid continues three-dimensionally all the way down below your feet into the earth. And I want you to fully allow your higher self to integrate into this pyramid. So that, again, the tip of the pyramid is there at the solar plexus. And then the pyramid continues downward in a 3D fashion, 360 degrees. And then the base of the pyramid is below your feet. You can take it all the way down to the earth star chakra, which is about 12 to 18 inches below your feet. This is encompassing a large portion of the bottom half of your body, where you're grounded to the earth, where those lower chakras are. And now with the higher self fully integrated into the pyramid of the solar plexus, I want you to pull more energy of Mother Earth up, bring it up. Remember how I said there's that fountain of energy that just effortlessly allows you to stand in your mission and speak your truth? Pull that up from Mother Earth. And now allow it to move through that pyramid of energy, gaining momentum, gaining amplification, and then moving up that crystalline tube, up through those upper chakras. Send it all the way up back into the Akash. And then just take a few moments to breathe and integrate in this flow. Hold this visual in your awareness. Like an isometric contraction when you're working out, just like squeezing that muscle. So holding all of your focus on this visual awareness for 3, 2, 1, and now you can just release it with your breath. And then just preparing to slowly release this meditation. This is very very similar also, like a shamanic journey that we're going on. We're moving into the quantum realms to bring in healing and higher access points, knowledge, and power for ourselves. So just honoring yourself for doing that work. And one more deep breath. Releasing the meditation with your next exhale. And just coming back to the room that you're in. Bring your awareness back into your body. Move your body around a little bit. Good. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Emily, for a wonderful activation meditation. Very powerful. So just quickly, how you connect with today's training, look under the events section of this page, and you will see the event for tonight. You can go there, get the link, register yourself up. There will be a replay sent out. But for those of you who make it live, you're going to have the opportunity to ask questions and interact with us directly. So I do encourage you, if you can, set aside the time, make it a priority. Come join us live tonight. Learn how to structure and release and launch your own course, which helps you get your message out, your experience out to more people, serves more people, and also it helps enhance your own life. So thank you guys so much. What do we got coming up next?
Oh, actually, Brad is not coming up next.
Okay.
Brad is attending to his life. However, he is going to be, I tease him, I said they're singing a duet. He and Sifu Bogi are going to be doing a show later on today. So we'll make sure that we share that out at the Akashic Academy. I think that's actually over on Paul's page. And then, of course, we've got our event at 4. And then at 5 o'clock tonight, we've got the awesome Feng Shui lady, Laura Carrillo, coming up. So stay tuned to the Akashic Academy all day, all weekend. Just keep everything set on here. Just hang out with us.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys next week at the same time. And of course, we'll see those of you who are joining us tonight inside the training later on. See you guys.